Released alongside the movie, the Alice in Wonderland video game struggles to separate itself from the movie, but is it successful? Is it worth taking a trip to Wonderland again? First off, we should talk about video games in general. Video games have come a long way from their humble beginnings. Now, companies like Nintendo are releasing products that are trying to reach out to everyone. With all these new products flooding the market, video game developers use techniques such as immersion to get players involved. Whether it's Wii Sports, Halo, or Alice in Wonderland, all of these games have immersion. What is immersion? Steve Wojak defines it as a suspension of disbelief. The player has to begin to feel like he or she is in the game. This is where the true enjoyment of video games come from. Now on to Alice in Wonderland. In the gameplay, the video game deviates from the movie in a major way. Alice is not a playable character. She is not even the main character. The plot revolves around her, but she has no choice in how the story progresses. She is actually quite helpless.
My whiskers! We have to help her!
We can do nothing from here, my friend. But maybe we can from... Follow me!
The player takes control of 5 player characters instead. McTwisp, Malleumcum, Hare, Hatter, and the Cheshire Cat. Through individual powers provided by each of these characters, players fight bad guys, solve puzzles, and progress through a story that is very similar to the movie.
Always knew who you were going to be, stupid girl.
There are some differences, however. The other characters' personalities and stories are much more developed. At the forefront of this change is the conflict between Hatter and the Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Cat seems to have, as Hatter puts it, a history of inglorious evaporation. Other than these changes, the plot remains the same. The Red Queen is still bad, Alice must slay the Jabberwocky, and Alice is still the wrong Alice. The player has a high degree of control over the character. The camera is very much locked to the character in the game, but you can still look around and admire the view. This is very different from the movie because the movie forces you along with it, while the video game allows you to stop and smell the roses, or at least make them young again. With all these things that the player can participate in, there are still things that can break the immersion. While you may get the character from plot advancement to plot advancement, how the plot turns out is still not up to you. Because this video game accompanies a movie, there is still not much flexibility in the plot. Like Alice, you are helpless to anything that goes on in this aspect.
How could we forget? The Jabberwocky's jaws and claws will tear her limb from limb.
Another thing that breaks the immersion is the loading screen. While this is a minor issue, to load can still allow the player's thoughts to wander and break the illusion that the video game might actually be real. With all these things taken into consideration, Alice is still a very good game as far as movie adaptations go. It may not be able to stand alone by itself, but it is a wonderful complement to the movie. The new perspectives and immersion obtained through the ability to explore the world outweighs the bad in making an experience that has reinvented the world of Wonderland again.
Now you're ready.
I told you it was her, Mary. I said so right from the start. From the moment I first laid eyes on her,
Enough of that, Twisp. I accept. You win. It's her.